The three of you backstage, you were hugging, especially since you didn't work together once this season. You weren't in the same room. Let me start with you. You gave him a really big hug. And you never really were on set together, correct?
No, but this was like my little baby child. So I feel like the entire cast, they called me mom. So I'm so close with everyone, and that's just how 1923 worked. We're such a family, and it's wild because you would think that we wouldn't be, but we really are.
Right, and you never saw Helen either. You never got to work with her.
No, but I was around her enough to get the Helen energy in me, and to be a massive fan of it. She's a lovely human being.
But we did create a family very much at the beginning, and I think that was a part of the modus operandi, if you like, of the Taylor Sheridan experience. I thought, when we came in, there was a real effort to bond us all as a group, even though we weren't specifically going to be working together. I hope in the future we will be working together, we'll see. But there was a terrific bonding that went on in Cowboy Camp and the first kind of month of work. Was it as long as a month, or did it?
Yeah, I think they told us it was going to be 2 weeks, and I was there for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So, honestly, if you could do that on every project, it would be amazing, even if there was nothing to do with riding horses, because it's like this great neutralizer where really no one knows what they're doing. And you're all out there together, and you get a chance to bond, and you get a chance to be messy, and there's no ego. It just eliminates all of it. It's nice. It's a really good unifier for everybody.
I'd love to hear how you first got this gig, whether you heard from Taylor or Sheridan. Let me start with you. How did the role find you?
I came into my inbox. I was terrified when I read it because it was so raw and true, and I really just wanted to honor our community as best as I could. And then after the second time I taped for it, I was like, yeah, this isn't up to me anymore. This is really up to Spirit, and my mom forced me, and here we are.
Mom forced you. What were those words that she shared with you?
Well, there's two different versions. I'll do the good version. The good version is she was kind of teary-eyed. It was just like, you have to do it. You have to do it for our people and make us proud.
Okay, Brian, how about you?
I was on kind of taking a little bit of a sabbatical because I was doing an unbelievable amount of auditions and self-tapes, and I was kind of spinning my gears a bit, and I just went on a 3-week backpacking trip in Oregon and Washington. I was ending at a music festival, actually, a funk and bluegrass festival. And I was kind of in the middle of that trip, had been sleeping in a tent for 2.5 weeks when I got the call to do the tape, which was kind of fitting because it was literally in nature living in a tent. And found a house, did the tape, sent it, then went on my merry way and had a good time, and got back from that trip and got the call to go to Jackson Hole to test. And then read with Taylor in the room and pretty much knew in the room. Yeah, I was I don't know, I just had a feeling when I first read it on the page that it was kind of my guy. It happens every once in a while. It just resonates. The words just make sense coming out of your mouth. It's nice. So, it was a really smooth process.
The first time in my life, I've never done this before, I wasn't given a script. I had no idea what it was going to be. And likewise, incidentally, Harrison. We were asked to, participate, and, you do what you do as an actor. You say, well, lovely, it sounds really interesting, I'd love to read, can I read the script? There is no script. Taylor likes to write for the people that he knows are going to play the role. So that was sort of a combination of flattering, but at the same time sort of rather nerve-wracking, because I thought, well, I've actually never met Taylor Sheridan, and maybe when he meets me, he won't want to write for me at all, he'll think. So I said, well, maybe we should meet, and so you get to know who I am, and my sort of vibe, if you like. And so, so I did meet. I went to meet with him and had a great evening with him, and off we went, But I had no idea, who the character was or what the story was or anything really. So it was an amazing moment when the script arrived and I discovered actually who I was playing. The Irish thing was a thing that I added personally. I thought, when you see Westerns, you don't see, to my mind, enough people with accents because they were all immigrants, recent immigrants. So it was important to me to sort of bring that feeling in with the sort of Irish. But apart from that, honestly, it's amazing writing. And what's on the page, it arrives and it's kind of perfect. It's extraordinary.
The first time we meet Kara, she's out in the middle of nowhere screaming at somebody. Where did you spend most of your days working? Were you all out on location?
It was all on location, absolutely. Beautiful, tough locations, but beautiful locations. The whole experience of shooting it was very visceral, very present. I remember that my last day of shooting, I was standing on a mountain. It was freezing, it was like -25. It was so cold. And I was standing on the mountain outside in Montana and thinking, oh, I hope I get to come back here. Because, you don't know, do you? I hope I get to come back here because this is so extraordinary.
Brandon, when we first met Spencer, I kind of had this fear, like, are you going to be like Keanu Reeves in a John Wick movie, like have like 10 words of dialogue? Because you don't really talk a lot at the beginning, but that's part of his sexy mystery, right? Yeah, with that look too, right there. Look at him.
Yeah, I guess that's part of his...
I mean, where do you go with that?
I guess that's part of his sexy mystery. That's what I was going for sure. Still going for it.
All right. Did you know ahead of time that it would be a road show, for Spencer? You'd be all over the world. Did at least Taylor hint to you, dude, you're not staying in one place?
Yeah, we knew. I think in the initial breakdown they had said we were in Africa and some other places. I didn't know to what extent. The whole creative process with this whole thing is really special and very exciting, and there's twists and turns, and it really keeps you on your toes, and it's fully. It's hard to explain, but really grabs you. And I think actually going to all these locations and constantly being on the move, it's so nice. It just really adds to the experience and your ability to get in there. And yeah, I had no idea going in the extent of this sort of Homer's Odyssey journey that I'd be on. I had no idea.
Can you say where you were when you were capsized on the boat? You're floating on that boat. Where was that take?
In Malta, in a tank.
Good scene. Yeah.
Good scene. Really good.
All right, Aminah, this scene, for those who maybe didn't grasp it, the scene that we just saw, what happened there? Tell me.
Yeah, so Teonna, she ran away from the Indian boarding school, the assimilation schools, and she was on her way back home. And before that, a big situation happened where she was kind of life or death with a wolf, and she climbed up on a big rock, perched herself up there, and really thought that was it, and that was going to be it for her. And then Hank came along, and that's when she finally felt like she could maybe trust someone slightly. So she was still a little hesitant, but it was like the first glimpse that she felt of, okay, my people are walking with me now, and I'm okay. We're gonna go. We're gonna be good. But she had to tell them what she was doing, and why she was where she was and why she looked the way she did. Which is, you know, it was a very raw moment for T. I think it was completely different than what you see T move through throughout the rest of the season up until that point.
Her story is a very difficult one to watch. I'm curious the kind of feedback that you've received from viewers, what they've thought about it, what's it been like to watch you on this journey.
To be completely honest, I'm pretty off-grid, so I don't really pay attention to a lot of what is moving around when it comes to the show. I think I like to put my mental health and my spirit first, but from what my family says, because they be on there, and they make sure to let me know, that it's just great feedback, and everyone's very proud, and that's all I want to do. I just want to honor people as best as I can, and just, yeah.
Where were you all when you found out there was going to be a second season? How did you learn?
It was...
Well, we...
Okay.
No, exactly. It was sort of like it was generally accepted, wasn't it?
Yeah, because it was...
You got a letter or anything?
Yeah, we kind of assumed based on where it was going, it was kind of supposed to be shorter, and then like, there's no way we can fit all this story into a one-off. We gotta extend this thing because it's such a sweeping epic, you know, the whole thing.
Well, he's not here, so we can talk about Harrison Ford. Does anyone have a good story? Helen, you have to have all the Harrison stories.
Oh, well, Harrison is just so... I mean, I've worked with him before many, many years ago. We played husband and wife in a film called Mosquito Coast, and, you know, he was the massive star that he is now then as well. And so, you know, Harrison is a very specific person in our history of film and you know, of acting on screen. He inhabits a very specific space, doesn't he? And he's just such a beautiful person, I have to say. You know, he's and it was so great. Come back, and it was as if the sort of 30 years just hadn't existed, and here we were together again, you know, as husband and wife. I mean, well, I just can't say too much about Harrison, really, in the sense of my love for him, because I think he's just fantastic as a person and an actor. Yeah.
We have to wrap. 1923, everyone. Thank you so much.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. If you want to support my channel, you can buy one of my graphic novels from the link below, or you can buy one of my t-shirts. And also remember to click on like and subscribe.